shots fired, call 37 Carmel Road. We had a 39 that was shot in the neck. Possible suspect vehicle is going to be a brown Honda.
This latest homicide makes May the month with the most homicides so far this year. A week ago, APD responded to a call of a man lying dead in the street. On May 12th, APD officers found 44-year-old Jonathan Macondo shot to death behind a Walgreens near Central and San Mateo. And on May 11th, APD responded to a shooting where they found a man dead near Southern and Cardenas. No arrests have been made in these 3 cases. And earlier this month, APD responded to 5 other homicides involving a shooting, including the one outside Party City that took the lives of teenagers Mario Salgado Rosales and Alexia Real.
October 3rd. Cross it off on your calendar, the day Balloon Fiesta was supposed to start. Now we're going to have to wait until next October for the 49th annual Balloon Fiesta. Our first stop, Lowe's downtown. A little before 10 this morning, check this out, no line. Time to check on those grocery list items. First up, ground beef. Plenty here. Next, eggs. Good there too. And finally, toilet paper. Technically, still a few rolls left this morning, but yikes, it is sparse.
This just looks a lot more informative and easier as an interface rather than calling a station.
It looks very comprehensive. There are a lot of different categories.
More than 55,000 K through college educators have received at least one shot. That's out of 66,000 registered, so about 84%. 68% of those are fully vaccinated.
The New Mexico Department of Workforce Solutions says that last week alone, more than 30,000 people applied for unemployment benefits. That number is only expected to go up. The first is called the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program. That will allow people who didn't qualify for unemployment benefits before, like people who are self-employed, they will now qualify for those benefits. The other thing that it will do is give more money to people who are already on unemployment benefits. $600 a week for 13 weeks. And in the age of coronavirus, just like everything else, there are some other things you need to be mindful of. For example, you don't need to be wearing a mask while you're out exercising per the governor's health order, but it is still a good idea to have one. Having that mask will be good so that if you can't stay within 6 feet of people like we are right now, you can just pull it up really quickly. And that brings us to a good reminder that on these trails, you do need to maintain that 6-foot distance between you and other people. So here are a few ideas. Maybe make a day of the biopark. What about the Sandia Peak tram? You really can't beat those views. And to make it really feel like a vacation, check into a local hotel.
Plastics also come with really significant environmental consequences.
We are now in October with a large fire going on in northern New Mexico. So
first-degree burns are mild, only touching superficial layers of skin, causing a shade of pink. It could hurt a bit, but you're okay. You don't need to visit the ER if it's small. Second-degree burns will reach a lot more layers of skin, leaving it red and covered in blisters. It's painful. This could cause some scarring if it's not shallow. Visit the ER if it covers a large area, your face or most of your hand. Third-degree burns extend into the deeper layers of skin and underlying fat tissues. Your nerve endings are burned, so you might not feel the pain on the central area, but you could feel pain on the edges. He says to run the injury under cold water for at least 10 to 15 minutes or until the pain subsides, but don't use ice.
For our Four Corners viewers, Mercy Regional Medical Center was slotted to get 360 Pfizer vaccines and 800 Moderna vaccines, according to the state's most current vaccine shipments list. San Juan Basin Public Health and San Juan County Public Health are both scheduled to get 100 Moderna vaccine doses, but none this go around. Like many other parts of the nation, Colorado will vaccinate its residents in phases. Phase 1 has 2 parts. Phase 1A, the people who got the vaccine today, are people who have direct contact with COVID-19 patients regularly. Many of you are talking about this right now. We asked the same question on social media. Are you sending your kids back? We got a lot of responses. One parent said, yes, I'll be sending my 4th grader back to in-person. Online is not working for her at all. Another, though, told us her son won't be going back until next year.
The criminal complaint outlines what took place on Friday, starting when the gun went off.
It's an active shooter, Washington Middle School, 27 Delta 6. We have 1 patient. Kids intend to alarm. We're at Rio Grande and Central. Put us on that call.
But to find out how we got here, we have to turn to the 3rd page, where Saucedo's father told the police he noticed his handgun was missing, pulled the handgun from his waistband, chambered a cartridge, and fired the gun. The school officer heard the gunshot and ran to the scene. That's where she saw Hargrove on the ground with multiple bullet wounds, saying, "Please help me. I can't feel my legs."
They also cited security concerns, poor sight lines, and blind spots. In some cases, there was no staff to keep an eye on those inside. The recommendation from the investigator is to get all detainees out of the facility and fix the problems.
But according to their research, the only 2 states ranking worse than ours in hospital beds per capita are Washington and Oregon. It also shows that there are less than 2 hospital beds per 1,000 people in our state. States at the top of the list, like South Dakota, Mississippi, and West Virginia, are looking at closer to 4 or 5 beds per 1,000 people. And get this, according to that Presbyterian spokesperson, the city of El Paso has more hospital beds than all of the hospitals in our state combined.